The landmark bipartisan housing affordability bill is now official federal law. It went into effect over the weekend. Without President Trump's signature, the president allowed the 21st Century Road to Housing Act to automatically take effect at midnight Saturday in protest after Congress resisted his demands to first pass more strict voter ID and proof of citizenship laws. The Housing Act passed with massive support from both parties.
So what does this massive federal overhaul actually mean for you and me? So joining us this morning is ASU's Mark Stapp. He is the Executive Director of Real Estate Programs at the WP Carey School of Business. Good morning, sir. Thanks for taking the time to talk to us.
My pleasure.
All right, so Mr. Stapp, let's talk about this. What does this actually mean for the bottom line, for you and me?
Well, it is a significant bill, and there's a lot of provisions in it. I think, however, the thing that people have to realize is this is not going to have an immediate effect on housing affordability. There's a couple of provisions that I do think make a big difference. One relating to manufactured housing, which should be able to deliver that kind of housing in ways that we haven't had it delivered, and that's one of our affordable housing components. The other is the rental assistance demonstration program, but those aren't going to affect the average person very much. So I think this is going to take probably a year to 2 years, if not more, for some of these provisions to really roll in. And some of them are unfunded, like through CDBG grants that require funding through the appropriations process. So although I like to say this is a great accomplishment, it's not going to have a great impact.
You mentioned that it may not have an effect for at least a few years or so. What segment of the population do you think this is helping? Like, if you can, for example, give us an idea of the typical housing, price. What's the typical housing price, maybe, that the segment of the population this really could help in the end?
Well, I think the rental assistance demonstration program is going to help with affordable rentals assistance, right? That's a big deal. The manufactured housing, as I mentioned before, is going to help deliver a kind of product that could make housing at the lower end of the market much more affordable. It's not going to have an impact on median household income families that are looking for housing. And it's not going to have a big impact, I think, for quite a while. And so, although it was a necessary, and there were some components in it that deal with streamlining environmental reviews, it's going to take a while for this stuff to trickle too. So you're not going to see any impact from this in a meaningful way for quite a while.
Mr. Stapp, the other big part of this bill was basically stopping from those big corporate investors from buying up a lot of these starter homes. And you kind of mentioned that we're not going to see anything down the road, but will this also have that trickle down to maybe help some of those first-time home buyers eventually?
No, in my opinion, that was not a good provision in this bill, because what it did is it disincentivized more investment into the housing supply. And although people believe that the big corporations were buying up houses that they could afford if it weren't for the investors, that really was a very tiny portion of the overall marketplace. Most of those rental housing are by small investors or mom and pops. The large investors had, maybe 11% of the marketplace. So I don't think there's going to be a big impact from that.
One of the other big parts of this was improving access to mortgages. We have about 30 seconds left. Just kind of your last thoughts on that.
So the access to mortgage, again, is more dependent on other outside factors. In particular, the 10-year Treasury, and with other things that are going on in the economy, those Treasury bill rates are not coming down, which means mortgage rates aren't coming down. So I don't think there's going to be a big impact from that either.
Mr. Stapp, we appreciate your time here this morning and your insight into this. Thank you for your time.
My pleasure.